some people have joined me. Blessings. Blessings. Okay. Oh, thank you, Shamika. I'm going to check out that ad in Melanin Pride magazine. We do have a quarter page ad in Melanin Pride magazine this week. So blessings, Shamika. And my niece and my cousins. Oh, wow. Okay, so I do have a couple of people who did get their request in early, and I'm going to make sure I do them. So, oh, let me get this off. Man, that song is a workout. I can dance to that little song, that little ditty for a while. Okay, you guys. Okay, let's see. And I'm going to do something else. I really want to know where the planets are. And I realized I forgot to do that last week. And I don't want to do that today. You guys, hold on. I'm going to put on the fan. Oh, it's like 85 degrees in the middle of the night. Okay. Let's see. Stuffy. Okay, so where are the planets? The planets. Whew, okay. Wow. Okay, so the sun is at 1 degree of Leo as of this moment, and the moon is at 3 degrees of Taurus. Wow. Okay, so a couple of things happening. The sun and the moon are square each other. So it's activity. It would explain why there's activity happening. For some people, I guess it would be about, what, midnight there? Almost midnight. So it's a lot of activity. And a square is activity. So I could see that happening. Also, Mercury and Venus are conjunct right now. Exactly. They're at 26 degrees of Cancer. And, well, Mercury is retrograde. It is actually aspecting Venus. So there might be some talk of love. I actually see couples that might not have been talking for a long time, maybe talking things out. Maybe you'll be able to talk about things that you weren't able to talk about before, and it'll be easier to get to the deeper emotional part of the conversation, because we're talking Cancer, and that's usually emotion of some kind. So you can speak about love, I think, in an emotional way. I see that. Also, Mars and Jupiter are trine exactly. Mars is at 14 degrees of Leo. Jupiter is at 14 degrees of Sagittarius, and it is retrograding toward an exact conjunction with Mars. Now, you know, that's a couple of things. Mars and Jupiter can indicate, again, more activity, and this is confidence in activity. Maybe a little bit too much confidence in activity. So be careful, because you might overshoot thinking that you're like invincible or something, because Jupiter and Mars, man, that's like throw caution to the wind and just fly. So be really cautious with that. It's positive, especially for air signs. Like if you're an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, it's all good. Really, it is, especially with the sun in Leo. So be aware of that. Also, Saturn is at 16 degrees, retrograding still. I want to cry every time I say it. So Saturn is like, I don't know if you've heard my woes. I've made videos of my woes, okay? It's the reason why, you know, this should have started 3 hours ago, 3 hours or 2.5 hours ago, 7 o'clock, right? But what happens is Saturn is on me. Like when I say it's on me, it's something that only happens every 28 years in your life. Anyway, it's not normal. It's not like, oh, you know, she's getting old or something. No, Saturn is sitting on my ascendant, and Saturn is sitting on my sun simultaneously. That's rare in and of itself. They're both two distinctly painful experiences, and I'm having them both at the same time. It's retrograding. I'm hoping I've done enough so that Saturn doesn't, you know, do anything cruel, but it's the great taskmaster. I think it's why I ended up adding dancing into my weekly thing, because no matter what happens, my lazy butt is going to get up and dance before I work, because I set that as my intention. And so it makes sure I dance every week. I always do anyway. But that's how Saturn works. See, Saturn. Okay, Uranus is at 6 degrees of Taurus. And that 6 degrees of Taurus is technically conjunct the moon right now. And it's going toward an exact conjunction. I can see something sudden out of the blue coming. Be careful. I guess most people are going to be asleep. It's, Uranus and the moon. Sleep is probably good. If not, someone like me, since it's happening in my third house, I'm going to talk and run my mouth and make all kind of videos and, maybe make my masterpiece when the moon is conjunct Uranus tonight. I mean, your Mercury's in my first house by birth. And by the way, the moon is exactly square my Mercury, and the sun is opposed it right now. And it's why I'm running my mouth. Okay, look, let's keep going. Neptune is at 18 degrees of Pisces. It's retrograde. So that's another thing going back to pick up, in this case, I think creativity and the things you miss. You might find that you're finding things that you lost, that too. Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn at 21 degrees. And that too is on my ascendant. We won't even go into how painful Pluto can be. Now, it's actually pulling away, I think, from those horrible retrogrades with the Cancer planets. But it's technically going toward an opposition with the true node because it's retrograding. So it is going toward it. And there's nothing we can do about that. Let's see. Chiron at 5 degrees of Aries, retrograding. And that is going to actually be trying the sun, probably before we get to Saturday. So I thought I would mention that. And Chiron trying the sun, I think, is a good opportunity to heal any painful wounds that you have within yourself. So that's what that's good for. Okay, so we've gone through all of the aspects of what's going on astrologically, and now I am going to open up the door for the horoscope chart is right, because it is, I think, anyway, at least in my dogma it is. So we're going to look up here, and I do have several people who have requested, and I noticed that the list was starting to get a little long, so we're going to go ahead and clean up this list tonight, because I don't like it when I owe people things, and I am going to take care of that. Okay, so the first person that I owe here, and I don't know if I've actually done her. Let's look and see if we put in Taylor Justine Jones. Wait a minute, did I do her? Did she do it? Okay, wait, I don't know. Let's look in, let's see. So I'm going to go now and look to where I have my horoscope vault of activity. And we're going to see if we have Taylor in here. Now, if she's here, and no, she's not. So guess who the first person is? The first person tonight on the horoscope chart is right, is Taylor Justin Jones. Okay, born in Medford, Oregon. And let's see if she knows. She does not know her actual birth time. I asked her if she knew it was night, day, or afternoon. Well, I don't think she told me, and so we don't have that. So let's go with what we have. I'm going to try to do a first house chart with you. Let's see if we can get that worked out. So Taylor Justine Jones. I did see that Medford, Oregon. There we go. And that was February 2nd, I believe, 1992. Let me just make sure. February 21st, 1992. Okay. 21st, female. And her time, we're going to say 6 a.m. If I don't like the 6 a.m., I'll do a 12 a.m. I mean, a 12 p.m. That'll put it in the 10th. I will actually do vibrate better with the 10th house placements, but I try my best to make it at rising, unless I know. It's just the way I roll. Okay, and you know I like writing down what I see when I see it because it gives me an impression. It's weird, isn't it? I don't know why. Well, let me pull up the actual chart and we'll see. Right now, just Taylor, you've got a Pisces sun, a Libra moon, and ascendant in Aquarius. I'm sensing a lot of air here, but let me just let me pull up a good chart for you. Okay, so we're going to do a natal transit and progression. Oh wait, oh, what's going on here? It's looking kind of weird. Oh well, let's see here. Oh, good. I was wondering what happened. It didn't give me all my options there for a minute. Okay, so here we go. We got the Koch system, which I love, as you guys probably figured out. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and use this. Yeah, I do want aspects to Chiron. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to use the Part of Fortune, Vertex, Lilith, Chiron, Ceres, Pallas, Juno, and Vesta. Okay, I just noticed that Astro Dennis did something completely different today, so they must have updated their website. Okay, so Taylor, I've got your chart here. And you are first on the horoscope chart is right. Okay, now I don't know how right this is going to be, Justine. Or why do I call you Justine instead of Taylor? Taylor, because this is based on if you were born at 6 o'clock in the morning. It could be that you were born at 6 o'clock at night or at midnight or anywhere. So please understand that you may or may not vibrate to what I find here in this chart. If you don't and you really want to know, because a lot of people really want to know their birth data. It's, you know, what their horoscope chart is, their sun sign, you know, all of that. And so I work with people so that we can work through that, and we can maybe do that in a live reading. But first, let's go through this free mini reading. I'll tell you what I see, and then you can, you know, if it resonates with you, then yeah, we're on to something. If it doesn't, then we'll work toward that. And in the meantime, if you can find someone in your family that knows exactly when you're born, that's going to help a great deal. So here's what I'm seeing with this chart, okay? And it, like I said, it may not resonate with you, and it may be different based on your actual birth data. But based on this chart, if you were born at 6 a.m. or thereabout, it would place your sun in the first house, and it was giving off a certain vibe. The vibe that I see here is very sad. Very sad. Especially now. There's a stellium, a huge stellium, that goes really, all your planets truly are grouped together in such a way that all the emphasis would be on the 12th and the first house, or most likely. And then there would be reaching out a great deal to others, because you would have Jupiter in the 7th house. So you would find maybe even yourself an identity through your partner, your happiness, your joy, everything comes through that partner. And then the other thing is that this would place Saturn on the first house, like on the midheaven, the ascendant. And by doing that, I mean, it would give a certain aura to the whole chart, which would be somewhat sad, because, well, I know I've got Saturn in my first house. And no matter how high I get, no matter how happy I get, no matter how rich I get, there's always this aura of sadness about me. And it's because I've been through a lot of pain. And if you have this chart, you might have too. Well, what would cause so much pain, you ask? Well, if you were born with your sun in the first house, just the fact that you're shining, probably brighter than others. And with Jupiter being in the 7th house, there's an exuberance of reaching out to others. That indicates to me a great level of jealousy, especially from females. They're like, who that bitch think she is? She looking at my man. I'll beat that bitch. Now, let me tell you something. This not only indicates that Jupiter would be in the 7th house of open enemies, but I mean, it's partnerships too, right? But let me tell you what's going on in the 12th house of hidden enemies. Lord, child. First of all, Capricorn is there, and nobody wants Capricorn in the 12th house. I should know. I got it. I got hidden enemies all over. They just fans, child. They just fans. But look, you got Uranus in the 12th house, Ceres in the 12th house, Neptune in the 12th house, Mars in the 12th house, Lilith in the 12th house, Venus in the 12th house, and that's just by natal. Right now, Saturn and Pluto are transiting the 12th house, and Ceres is progressed into it. Like, wait a minute, or is that? Yep, it's Ceres. So look, that's a lot of hidden enemies right there. That's a lot of, bitch better have my money. That's a lot of that going on. And I don't know if this is your chart, and I don't know why I said bitch better have my money, because you got your progressed moon and your natal moon. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. It's true. Oh, girl, you have your, oh my gosh, your progressed moon is sitting right on your natal moon in the 8th house of money right now. I don't know where this is really happening in your life. So this is how we're going to find out when you're born. Somewhere in your life right now, there is a deep emotion occurring. Deep. Now, it probably, I think, has to do with a partnership, because it's happening in Libra. It's your progressed moon and your natal moon in Libra at 16 degrees. This is a major, major, major thing going on, because transiting Saturn is now at 16 degrees. And transiting North Node is now at 17 degrees. And they are both squaring those moons. So baby, reach out to me. I got a lot to talk to you about, honey. A lot. And I'm sure if we really pinpoint what's going on with those moons, I could probably tell you exactly what your horoscope is. That's how exact this is. That's how rare that moon sitting on that progressed moon is. Yes. Okay, Taylor, I'm going to save this in the horoscope vault of activity, because you got a lot going on. Don't be messing with nobody's man. If you're doing anything sneaky or underhanded, messing with somebody's man, stop it immediately. Lord have mercy. Please. That's the last thing in the world you need, is somebody coming up to you going, you've been sleeping with my man. You don't even know it's somebody's man. Better do your research on it. I don't know why I'm getting those messages. Poor baby. Let's hope everything is okay. And watch, people. There's some enemies lurking. Enemies. Oh, the North Node and Chiron are in your 6th house. It could be something going on at work. Be careful. Just saying. Okay, I'm going to stop. Okay, who's our next person? Gosh, there's so much messages there. I could just keep going on with your story for like the next half an hour, but we don't know your exact time, so I'm going to move on to my next one. And Taylor, I hope that resonates with you. I'm just going to type in, you are done. This was 7:24, so I keep a record for myself. And I am going to try to break up these readings on either YouTube or Facebook so that you guys can actually get to hear your readings again. Because sometimes I know it's hard if I go like half an hour, 45 minutes, and you're like, I don't want to, I got to go through everybody else's reading. So I'm going to try to fix that. Okay, so the next person I see here is Anita Annette. Anita Annette. I don't think or Lynette. I don't think I have you here, Anita. So we're putting you in as a new person. Yep, you are, because it would have popped up. Lynette. Female. I'm going to go a little faster here, you guys. 113, 77, 17. Okay. One of my favorite years, she said 2 a.m. Smithfield, North Carolina. Okay. And see, pop up Smithfield. There you go. Yes. All right. We've got, what's going on here for you? What is it not telling me? Yes. Yes. What's going on? Why? Usually it tells me what the thingies are. It's not doing it. I don't know why it didn't do it. Why didn't it do it? Oh, I hate it because now that means I've got to sit here and figure it out myself. So let me see. Sun at 22 degrees of Capricorn. Another Capricorn. Moon at 28 degrees of Libra. Ooh. That tells me right away we're dealing with. See, this already, I know what kind of personality I'm dealing with. You want to know why? I already know that we're dealing with a person who is having a stressful moment. I know that because she was born with her sun square her moon. And I just look, and right now her progressed moon is squared her sun at birth right now. Wow. Wow. Her emotions are running amok at this moment. Wow, poor baby. So let's see what else is going on, okay? And the ascendant is at 10 degrees of Scorpio. Ooh, that's a very, very emotional place to have your ascendant. Very. It's right at the precipice between the first and second decanty, or decanae, as some people call it. You know, I always say decanty. I don't know why. Even though I know it still, it sounds cuter. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. That's a very scorpionic Scorpio place to have it. Oh, and I'm just seeing it's making aspects to everything. Wow. Mercury, Venus, Mars, all aspected. Part of fortune. Ceres, lots of aspects to that. So let's look at this chart. I was just looking at the actual aspects. The chart is interesting, though, because when I look at the actual physical placements of this chart, it's not as though everything is going on, you know, above the horizon right now. That is not the case, except for the North Node, which is in the 9th house, indicating to me, you know, that you should get education. I would hope that this 9th house emphasis is coming through in the form of either education or maybe even, I don't know, working in the legal field, travel, perhaps. Anything, it could be religion or anything that has to do with spirituality. You could be a spiritual person yourself, with Saturn sitting in the 9th house, sitting your midheaven, by the way. Wow. Is that Pallas of Theta? Yes. And you got Pallas sitting right on your midheaven right now. Exactly. That's amazing. You know, if you really start organization is a major word. That's it. For you, especially with the Libra moon, because balance, right? Balancing everything is so vital. It's like you're doing a balancing act 99% of the time. And for you, the balancing act is, you know, at birth, where was it? Oh, wow, in the 12th house. Wow. Wow, with Pluto and North Node. So the balancing act you're doing is with yourself, isn't it? It's about controlling your subconscious and your emotions and your reactions to others. You may have mastered this because you've got Scorpio on the 1st house and you got Uranus conjunct your ascendant exactly. So if you had given in by now to this Uranus on your ascendant in Scorpio, I could see you could have caused quite a bit of havoc in others' in lives. Your life, other people's life. But if that is not the case, then that means you have mastered yourself. And anyone who can master themselves, it would be a Scorpio rising. Now that Uranus means that underneath everything, underneath of it all, there's a crazy MF in there. Crazy as a bed bug. You got all that going on in the 12th house and Uranus on the Oh, I love you already. Oh my God, let's be friends. You're so cute. Look, you got a lot going on here in the 12th house and Uranus on the ascendant. What a personality you've got. The one thing I would say though, and I will say this, you got Jupiter transiting your progressed ascendant, and they're both conjunct your natal Neptune in the 2nd house. Lord have mercy, dude. What have you done with the money? I'm praying you have stored away the money. You have calculated the money. You have invested the money. You have stashed away the money. You've got a little spot under your bed somewhere. Lord, I hope you got the money, because your ascendant is tied into this money, or at least into happiness and joy, and at least providing for yourself. And if you have not managed to do that with Neptune and conjunct Jupiter retrograding, it can, that can be devastating. And so if you're experiencing some form of devastation, please reach out to me, because that is something that needs to be healed. Also, Saturn and Pluto are transiting in the 3rd house. It could make your communication a little right now. And it could be happening with family. You got progressed sun in the 4th. Also, the progressed moon is in the 7th. This is happening maybe with partnerships at home. Oh, we need to talk. Anita, I hope you reach out to me, baby. We need to talk. Really. There's some pain going on with the relationships, like love. And like I said, the progressed moon's in the 7th house. We need to talk. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this chart for you, Anita. There's a lot. It's a lot of activity in a lot of spots going on, but there are certain messages that were coming out to me. Okay, and you do have such a quirky, unique personality. So I do hope we get an opportunity to talk with each other. All right, so Anita, you are done. And I do hope that you reach out to me so that we can do another one, okay? Or an actual reading. And let me tell you guys again how you can get those readings. You can go to the blog website, which is astrologyaLookInside.com, and go to our shop. We have a shop now, and there are special readings in the shop that are not on the order page. Now, if you go to the order page, which is astrologyaLookInside.com/order, then there is a drop-down menu where you can order the live readings. And I don't know if I have them all in there, but there's about 5, 6 in there. And then there's a donate button. And that's the page you should go to if you want to make a donation. And I greatly and gratefully accept donations. Just saying. Okay. So, Anita, you are done. And next is Jerica. Jerica Shawnee Nance. Jerica girl. I don't know, that name sounds so cute. Let's go ahead and add in Jerica. I told you I had a lot of people to do. I saw it getting out of hand, and I thought, oh, I better catch up on these readings before it gets out of hand, right? So Jerica Shanti, that's so cute. Nance, and she's born in Sheffield, Alabama. Popped right up. There we go. And she said 10/17, 2/20, 96, 20, 1996. And let's see, 10:17 p.m. 10:17 p.m. Oh, wow, hers, oh, popped right up. There we go. So you are another Pisces. We've got this is Pisces night. We got a Pisces sun, an Aries moon. The first girl I did had a Libra moon. I think this is so interesting. So we've got the Aries moon, and we've got the ascendant in Scorpio again. Didn't I tell you guys there's always themes? Isn't that something? So you are the opposite of the other two girls who both had Libra moons. You have the Aries moon. So amazing. I love when I see these things. So let's look and see what your actual chart is saying. Wow, another theme I'm picking up on immediately, which is that North Node in the 9th house. This is not the first North Node in the 9th house I've seen tonight. This is, again, that indication of going to get your education and following through on your education. And this is a really strong message for you, Jerica. There's some kind of hair getting in my eye, you guys, sorry. Jerica, because the transiting North Node right now is sitting exactly on your Lilith, your natal Lilith. But I think more importantly is that the North Node is exactly square, your natal North Node in Libra. And that natal North Node, 12th house again. That natal North Node in Libra is in your 12th house. And so is Chiron. You've got a lot of deeply hidden, buried pain. You've got a deeply hidden, buried wound that maybe your whole life you just feel like it has not healed. Something that happened maybe when you were young, but it's deeply hidden, it's buried, and it may have something to do with relationships of some kind. I think you might even be being triggered right now in your life because Uranus is going through the seventh house of Taurus for you, and it's right off of your descendant, but it's your 7th house. So you might have had something that happened in your relationships. Maybe you might even feel like someone deceived you or did something to you in your relationship recently. A lot of emphasis, not only is Uranus transiting your 7th house, but Venus is transiting your 7th house too, telling me that, if there was a problem in the relationship, I'm sure you smoothed it over. Venus is very loving, very calming, very soothing, and it's in Taurus for you. It's progressed in Taurus. So you would have been the one, I think, to smooth over any relationships that might have gotten a little bumpy. Also, you've got the progressed Sun, the progressed Mars, progressed Mercury, transiting Neptune, transiting Lilith. They're all in your 5th house of love, romance, children, creativity, taking chances, dating, parties. I just get romance, screaming at me. And probably lots of sexual activity. But this is because Mars is in the 5th house by birth, and Mars is transiting the 5th house. If that's not happening, I'm sure that's very frustrating to you. This is a time for you to experience love. I mean, the Sun is transiting the 5th house. It's that time of your life. You've got the Moon in the 5th house by birth. It could be that you're having children. And if you do have children, I think they would be very, very beautiful children. You are going to love your children. You were born to be a mother, by the way. You were born with your Sun in the 4th house, Mercury in the 4th house. You've got Juno in the 4th house. And your progressed Moon is about to go to where? The 4th house. If you're not already pregnant, you're going to be pregnant. And if you've had trouble having a baby, reach out to a professional. They'll give you help with that. You're kind of young, and so you may not have this on your mind or even thought about children yet. But if you are someone who had children young, can you please let me know? Because your Sun is indicating children, or your chart indicates children. The other thing, though, you got transiting Jupiter in the 2nd house, which right now, and I would take advantage of that for the next, I would say 6 months to, I would say 6 to 8 months. It's more rare than you think it is. The next time Jupiter is going to be in your 2nd house of money is going to be 12 years from now. So don't lose this opportunity. You got a very unique opportunity to make money now. And I hope you don't lose that opportunity. I hope you haven't snoozed through the opportunity to make money now, because you've got that opportunity now. And I will say this one last thing. Chiron is transiting your 6th house of work. So you might feel a little pain in your work. You might feel like, you might have days where you're like, why am I doing this work? It's not giving me what I want. Or I'm not shining the way I want in this work, or something of that nature. But just know that Chiron is just healing this area for you so that you will not have a wound in the area of work. You're healing your work, maybe so you can shine. With the North Node transiting the ninth house, it's saying to learn as much as you can, get as much education as you can, so that you can grow as much as you can. And the progressed midheaven is in your 10th house still. So you can still take advantage of your opportunity to shine in your work, in your career. And I believe in you. I believe in you, Jerica. You can do this. The only thing I want to talk to you about is those relationships. Lord, the relationships. Uranus all through the seventh house like that. Like to want to find out what the heck is going on. So I hope you reach out to me, Jerica, because it's like a soap opera there, looking at that chart. And I can't wait to find out what's really happening. So Jerica, you have been completed on the horoscope chart is right. And I hope that resonated with you in some way. And I hope that we get a chance to talk so we can, talk through all of those things. And if you're, just need to talk through your career things as well. So many planets low, but then having that North Node high and the midheaven high. Some interesting chart. Okay, so let's see what we've got next. Well, I've got Deborah Fenton here, who she's listed her birth date, but she didn't give me a time. So what I'm going to do, oh my, excuse me. What I'm going to do was sideways. No wonder it didn't go in. That would make a lot of sense. Deborah, I'm going to go ahead and put you in. And I'm going to do like I did with the first girl. I'm going to go ahead and use the time of 6 a.m. Because usually when I do that, it puts the sun right in the first house. And that's great, when you get that. So that's good. Okay, so we've got December 10, 1966. Okay. And you know what's so funny? You are not the first 1966er I've gotten. I seem to bring them in. Isn't that funny? It's when you see a pattern like that, you're like, whoa, wait, that's not the first one. It's like maybe third or fourth. So yeah. Let's see. Edmonton, Alberta. Wait, where was that? Here we go. Yes, Deborah. So based on this and based on having that first house sun that I gave you, you are a Sagittarius sun, a Scorpio moon, and a Scorpio ascendant at 18 degrees. Now, I don't, we can't go on that being the truth because we don't have the right time. But we're going to go and find out exactly what this means. Okay, so let's see what it says. For Deborah Fenton, you're up next on the horoscope chart is right. I love saying that. Deborah, you have a very interesting chart. And again, I'm sensing the themes. These Scorpio risings, there's that theme again, right? Another Scorpio rising person, according to this. And again, the North Node in the ninth house. Every freaking chart tonight, North Node in the ninth house. I swear, I kid you not, you can't make this crap up. North Node's transiting the ninth house of every single horoscope I did. Now, that means education, get your knowledge, learn, and also increasing nurturing and caring and all of those Cancerian qualities, which a lot of people have lost touch with. That mothering quality, that sincerely caring for the other person from our heart. That is what I think the whole North Node and Cancer experience is about. Getting back to loving, getting back to family, getting back to caring and nurturing and putting like love and family first in front of ambition, in front of appearances, in front of all of those other things, which really in the end of it all make no difference whatsoever. It's about finding the love that we have as individuals and sharing that love. And I think this is why this ninth house North Node in Cancer has been prevalent all night long. It's crazy. So look, you've got a lot going on in the 12th house right now. A lot. Because, I mean, I can't imagine what's happening, that much going on in the 12th house at 66 years old. But there's secrets, right? There's a lot of secrets going on. I don't know if these secrets are coming from you or from others, but I think from you. There's secrets. There might be secrets. Maybe you're trying to get to the secrets of like life, or the secrets or of something you're trying to find out, something you're trying to figure out yourself. And the reason I'm saying this is because your progressed Mars, your progressed moon secrets, the progressed midheaven, and progressed Vesta, which is sitting right on your ascendant, by the way, are all in the 12th house. This is all deeply hidden internal stuff. Stuff. It might be stuffing, literally stuffing. Like if you're getting overweight or gaining weight, you could be stuffing, right? Have you been stuffing? I'm going to tell you something else that's indicating weight and stuffing. A couple of things, really. But Jupiter's in your second house. Jupiter in the second house make people fat anyway, or gain weight, or have issues with their body. But it just came out of your first house, and it's retrograding right now back into your first house. Oh, it had touched, I think, your sun. And your sun is in the second house in Jupiter, in Sag. I'm just trying to see exactly where it's at, 14 degrees. So it just got off of your sun, right? Your sun's at 18 degrees of Sagittarius in the second house. You got Venus in Sagittarius in the second house. You got, I can't make this up. You got the ascendant at 26 degrees of Sagittarius sitting on your 25 degrees, almost 26 degrees of Venus in the second house. Girl, you've been eating. Have you gained weight? Are you chubby? I bet you are. And if you're not, kudos to you for keeping that under wraps. I don't know how you've managed to keep it under wraps if you're not. I don't. Because, man, oh man, that's a lot of second house and Jupiter and Sag. And you got the moon in the first house by birth, which indicates that there's a little moon-faced person I'm talking to here. You also have Mercury conjunct that moon in the first house. You are very thinking, you always are a compassionate person, I think. I mean, even if you don't know how to communicate it well, because you got, your sun and Mercury conjunct, and I don't see any squares. Let me just see if they have a square to it somewhere. I can see, I think you are expressive in your love and compassion. I do. I think you are a sweet, loving, compassionate little, chubby little moon face, happy little person. Oh, you're so cute. I want to just squeeze your little cheeks. I don't even see your little face, but I can see. That's what I get. That's what I get here. Your Neptune sitting on the ascendant like that, and moon and Mercury in the first house, and your part of fortune in the first house. You yourself are sweet. You yourself are nurturing. If this is something that you didn't develop, why? Why? Because what a loving, caring, compassionate person you are. Oh my gosh. I just want to go hug you. And you got, wow, even by birth, you had Saturn in Pisces in the fourth house, Chiron in Pisces in the fourth house, Lilith in Pisces in the fourth house. You've got Pallas in Aries in the fourth house, but that just tells me you're a fighter when it comes to your family. Nobody better F with your family. Like, you might take it, you would turn the other cheek over a lot of things, but not when it comes to family. You will fight to the death. Now, here's the other thing. A lot of people think you're a pushover, but you're nobody's pushover. You got your Pluto and Uranus sitting up in the 10th house by birth, and Mars sitting in the 11th house. your friends. Like you'll take somebody out if they mess with. Sorry. You will take them out, okay? They better not mess with your family. That's all I got to say. I don't know why I get these messages, Lord have mercy. Because see here, look, you got Mars at 3 degrees of Libra in the 11th house, and it's opposing that Pallas at 1 degree of Aries in the 4th house. Very close to your 5th house ascendant. That means if anyone messes with your family, if anyone messes with your children, you're taking their asses out. I'm sorry, and so sweet. No one would ever know, right? So sweet. And that's if I had to give you any warning, it would be that to watch your emotions, because you've got the moon and Mercury sitting in the 1st house, and progressed moon and Mars and midheaven in the 12th house, sitting around thinking and like, I'm gonna burn up the building. Remember in Office Space, they took my red stapler. I'm burning. My daughter found a red stapler. She sent a picture of a red stapler to me today. That's why I'm thinking about Office Space. Oh, I'm burning down the building. I'm gonna burn down the building. Everyone think you're such a pushover, right? No. They better stop messing with you. Especially if it has to do with work. You got your Uranus in the 6th house. Nobody better mess with you at work. I swear. They better not mess with you. My gosh, you're cute. Anyway, Deborah, I hope that you reach out to me so that we can do an actual horoscope. Because you know what's so funny is that I think we did this based on me putting, your son somewhere around the 1st house, because I put a 6. And the funny thing is when I did 6 a.m., it actually placed your son in the 2nd house and not the 1st house. Just amazing that it did that. And it just gave me this interesting chart. But somewhere in your life, there is still that stellium of Scorpio. There's still that stellium of Pisces. It's still happening. It just may not be in the houses where I'm seeing it, in the way that I'm seeing it. But in this chart, this storyline is what was there. And it was funny and interesting. And I, just like I said, don't burn down the building. Okay? Okay. Oh my gosh, how interesting was that? Okay, I think there was one last one, and then we're calling it a night. And I'm glad I took the time to do this. I know it's an extra long night, but you know what? I took a long time to come and do these for you guys. And the least I can do is to provide everyone who asked for my assistance with the assistance that they asked for. And so, that's part of that integrity thing that I'm working on, because I want to be 100%, with integrity, so that I can give you guys what you want and just not let people down. I don't like letting people down. That's important to me. Okay, so I'm thinking that Anthe, I believe Anthe, I can't tell. I'm going to say that Anthe is a woman. And if I'm wrong, you can correct me later. Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know. Now I'm doing Agathi. Okay, wow. So let me do this right. Agathi. I don't know if I'm dealing with a man or a woman, but this is who I'm doing. Agathi Nicopolis, right? It's Greek, okay? It's Greek. Nicopolis, is that it? Nicopolis. I knew Greek, and I just Greek people, and so I know there's always lus at the end, so I think it's Nicopolis. So we're doing the Agathi Nicopolis at born April 15th. 1971. Okay. Oh, in Richmond, BC. And we've got another situation going on here. This is another night that, I've got themes again. And in this case, the theme is that, well, the birth time is not there. And I've been doing 6 a.m. And so again, for Agathi, I'm doing 6 a.m. And so here we go again. We are looking at a Aries sun, a Sagittarius moon, and a Taurus ascendant. And as I said, these may not be right because we don't have the exact time of birth. And so it may or may not resonate with Agathi. But we're going to pull this up and see if any of it makes sense to Agathi or Anathi. Okay, so when I look at the chart, the first thing I see, it looks like organized chaos. I swear, I kid you not, there's chaos everywhere. It's what I'm seeing. And the reason I say that is I talked about someone who had a chart very similar to this the other day. And here again, I see this chart happening yet again. And it's really amazing because we're dealing with the exact same number, which is 18 degrees of Capricorn on the midheaven. This is no mistake why I keep saying this. On either side of the 18-degree midheaven mark is Pluto to the left and Saturn to the right, both retrograding. Pluto aspecting the midheaven and Saturn separating from the midheaven. I want you guys to understand it's a theme and it's a pattern. And I think that this theme and pattern for almost everyone who has it, it's about pursuing your goals or your life dream or your reputation, your status. It could be your work, like your career. It's all about your career. It's all about your status. It's all about your reputation. One of the other things I always say is that the 10th house is our eulogy. The 10th house is the eulogy we leave behind. What kind of eulogy are you leaving behind? Agathi, let's take a look. Well, you got Mars sitting smack almost on the midheaven. So either you've been someone who's been very assertive and aggressive toward your career, or you could have just been a very aggressive, assertive, or had a very aggressive or man-like type of career, like a military person or soldier or something of that nature. But I mean, with Mars in Capricorn, that's a business person, I think. And if you missed it, well, maybe this Pluto going back to on the ascendant is coming back to say, look, it's not over till it's over. It's not done. Go for your career. Your power is now. With Pluto sitting on Mars in Capricorn like that, you not only see the big picture, you can live the big picture. You can go for the big money. That's what you should be doing and living out that life. And when I said big money, I said it without even looking down. But when I did look down at the second house, guess what I found there? The Progress Sun and Progress series in the second house of money. I kid you not. And the Progress Moon is in the sixth house of work. If this was a question about work and money, the answer is yes, effing yes. Go for the money, go for the career, fix your work life. If it's your health, you could have health issues with the Progress Moon in the sixth house. Fix your health. If there's a way to get it fixed, fix it, because the emphasis is on the second house of money. Money. How would you get the money? I don't know. Your ascendant's in the third house of communication. Maybe communicating. There's some other things I would love to talk to you about, especially that Jupiter retrograding in the 8th house, all right on your natal moon. You're another person who has a lot going on in the 12th house, and you got Chiron, the wounded healer, in the 12th house, probably telling that you can't do any of the things I'm talking about. We need to talk, don't we? Let's talk. This is how you get a hold of me. You can reach me at astrologyalookinside.com. You can order traditional video readings by going to astrologyalookinside.com/order. Then I do have a shop now, and there's special products in the shop. And you can get to that by going to astrologyalookinside.com/shop. Now, I personally, Adrienne Obey, have my own website, which is adrienneobeyhq.com. That stands for Adrienne Obey Headquarters. And if you go there, there are special readings and things that are available there that are not even available on the blog site. So that would be AdrienneObeyHQ.com or astrologyalookInside.com/shop. Okay. Anyway, you can also reach out to me via email at astrologyalookInside@gmail.com, and I will help you through the process of making your order. All right, Anagati, thank you for reaching out to me. It has been my pleasure to do your chart. I'm placing your chart inside of the horoscope chart of activity so that I have it and we can go over it at any time now. And what an interesting chart this was. What an interesting night this was in overall. I've had so much fun doing these, and I'm just going to mark here for Anthony, this has been completed, because I like to make sure I keep everything organized, because that's the kind of woman I am. Okay, so we did that for them. All of the places that had the request in the right spot, they have been done. And I am Hola Tanya. I see I've had some people come by and see me. Hola Shamika. Hola Nazinga Pam. Love you. Okay, you guys, try for a reading next time. And you know what? I love you all. Many blessings, much love and light. I'm going to do everything I can to put your, make sure I separate these little horoscopes this week so you can see them individually. And I will see you guys again on Saturday for Saturday Night Lives. All right, you guys, much love and light. Oh, and don't forget, the July to August readings are up on the YouTube channel. All right. Bye, everyone. Namaste. Namaste. I know.